Okay. Let's get back to our story time, shall we? Beacon Pines. Last time, Luca and Rollo got frozen together for eternity because something happened. So too bad. Maybe something that Graham's completely sensible and justified terrorist attack did or something. I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
A shockwave of cold tore through the room. A bitter, unfathomable chill.
Oh.
Before they could react, it encased them in ice.
Here, see? I told you.
Two boys, reunited by friendship, only to be cruelly separated by a malevolence beyond reason. And so, our story ends on this melancholy scene, in a silent treehouse turned statuary. In a town brought low by its secrets, sits a pair of friends, alone, together, for the rest of time. The end. No, that can't be the ending. It simply can't. I won't accept it, and I hope you won't either. There are more endings.
I came back because I'm not
More
accepting it. Don't worry about it.
I can feel it. We are just going to have to sort through them all until we find the one that fits.
That's fair. Okay, so I can run away at the treehouse here instead of firing the plunger that didn't do anything. Or I can, yeah, well, I want to see more Beck.
Luca began to respond, but the sky answered for him as the clouds above began to break, revealing patches of star-filled summer night. Moonlight filtered down, shimmering in the treetops.
Sure, you can meet Rollo. You're not going home? No, I promised Rollo I'd tell him about...
Luca stopped himself mid-sentence.
Promise you'd tell him what? Spit it out, bub. Thick as thieves now. There's a juicy secret you gotta tell me. Right, I didn't go with Rollo on this branch. Okay. Come to the treehouse and I'll tell you both what happened. Heck yeah. Alright.
Luca saw Beck skulking by the gate.
So you're telling me there's nothing mysterious or creepy about this place? It's mostly boring and empty. I refuse to believe that. Big spiked gate, looming mansion, rich reclusive owners, even smells shady.
Beck grabbed the wrought iron bars and shook the gate.
Mark my words, you decadent nightmare house. You will reveal your secrets to me. Done. What did you do? First of all, I told you so. Second, hide. That's Harris Valentine. Who's she talking to? Shh. I expect you to return that suit in working order. Of course. As long as everything proceeds as planned, there's nothing to worry about. The thing I'm worried about is what's rightfully mine. That means making some unsavory alliances? So be it. Couldn't agree more. There comes a time to suspend hostilities. I'll deal with our common threat. Now this is what I'm talking about.
Beck's voice was an excited whisper.
Proper shady stuff. Someone in a suit like that tried to grab me yesterday. Seriously? Shh. You understand that when all this inevitably fails, I will deny everything? I wouldn't expect anything less of you. Just worry about your part in this and let me handle the rest. Can't wait to see the look on that Rube Care's face. Yes, the truth will come to light. I'm still surprised you're so comfortable with the potential collateral damage. There's one thing I've learned, is that change is painful. Wow, I was expecting shady, but that's just flat out supervillain talk. You don't mind me asking, why? Why are you doing all this?
The mysterious figure retracted their mask, hair pushing out from all corners.
Family.
A chill ran down Luca's spine. His vision blurred. Vex stifled a sharp wince, and Luca looked down to see himself wrenching her hand.
An answer I can certainly respect.
Gran tousled her hair back under the face mask.
Just remember, keep everything nice and normal until the festival. Don't need lessons in rousing suspicion.
Gran gave Eris a curt nod and disappeared into the night. Chapter 5. What big ears you have. Lucas sat shivering in the bushes, staring at his feet. After checking to make sure the coast was clear, Beck gave him a gentle tug on his sweater.
What's wrong? You've seen a ghost. Why were you so scared of that old lady in the hazmat suit? That was my gran. That was your gran. Yeah. Okay, well, sure, there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for all this. Let's just get to the treehouse and figure out things there. Lead the way. Last time, there's nothing to worry about. Of course, we're not worried.
The clipboard finished writing with a scratchy flourish and looked up.
Just dotting our I's and crossing our T's. Well, maybe try minding your P's and Q's.
Mr. Nuncreed, arms crossed over his paunch, gave an exhausted sigh.
Anything you need knowing, you'll know it. Absolutely. You'll just sign here acknowledging everything is accurate. We'll be out of your hair in a flash. Oh, for the love.
He snatched the pad and scribbled his name so hard the pen nearly snapped.
There. And would you like my eternal soul as well?
The clipboards looked at each other for a moment, almost pondering the possibility, then broke into laughter as they walked away.
Ha ha ha. Hi, Mr. Nuncreed. Luca, let me give you some advice. If someone you don't know asks you to hear your thoughts, give him a good hard bop right in the kisser. Oh, Gran told you to just keep away from the clipboards. That's good. That's good. Gran's a smart lady, Luca. Speaking of which, you better run along home now. Too dark out to be wandering on your own. I'm not wandering on my own. Beck's with me. The answers you seek will be revealed to you in due time. Question is, the figure intoned, are you prepared to live with the truth? Another day, another dollar. See you tomorrow, Z. You notice how all the perennial harvest folks order the same drink? Decaf cappuccino with extra foam. Why? I don't know. Just thought it's a little odd. Pretty weird for sure. And the customer's always right. See you bright and early tomorrow. I can't wait.
William Kerr and Gus Valentine proudly surveyed the half-covered festival banner.
It's all coming together quite nicely. Couldn't have done it without you.
The mayor gave a half-hearted shrug.
I'm not so sure about that. Nonsense. That reminds me, I wasn't able to thank your sister for her contributions. Yes, she's been indisposed as of late. She doesn't look much like me, does she? Oh, no, that's not at all. She's just been busy. Of course. Regardless, I would be forever grateful if you could pass on my thanks to her. History Museum adds a real air of import to the whole affair. We couldn't very well celebrate the story of Beacon Pines without including the Valentines. Father was a great man. Darn tootin' he was.
Kerr locked his arm on Gus's shoulder.
But I mean the entire Valentine family, present company included. Can I ask you something, Mr. Kerr? Call me William. Ask away. William, why are you doing all this? Gosh, I never felt one needed a compelling reason to throw a party. It's just the festival, all of this. There's gotta be 100 down in their luck towns out there. Why is Perennial Harvest so interested in helping Beacon Pines? You know what I love most about the agriculture business? Seeds. Seeds? Yep, little bundles of potential.
With a glimmer in his eye, Kerr gestured grandly toward the horizon.
Treat a seed right, nurture it, feed it, and it can grow into something truly special. See potential here? Undoubtedly. Seed of greatness is already under our feet. All needs a little nudge, and the right leadership, of course. Oh. Good night, Mayor Valentine. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, the treehouse is just a little further on from here. So what's your buddy Rollo like? Rollo, he's Rollo. Not particularly helpful. Sorry, I just never thought about it. Lots of energy. He's funny, even when he's trying not to be. Things have been tough for his family since the foul harvest. What time are you telling me what this far harvest thing is? It's kind of a long story. Maybe with the highlights. Okay. There used to be a fertilizer company here called Valentine's. They were kind of a big deal. Ooh, big deal fertilizer. It's a big deal to us. Their stuff really worked. Farmers loved it. So Valentine's grew and grew. Beacon Pines pretty much grew around it. Most everybody in town either worked for Sharper Valentine or used his fertilizer. These were good. It's in a big but. Around 6 years ago, Sharper Valentine suddenly died. Something changed. Changed how? Could have been a bad batch. Maybe it was in the water, or the air, or the soil. Nobody knows. But all the crops died. And everyone blamed the Valentines. Foul harvest. Yeah. Valentine's fertilizer went out of business. Half the town lost their jobs. Sheesh. They sure the crops came back, but something was different. Plant a crop, do everything right, and it's sort of a crapshoot what happens. And no one knows why? Nope. I take it Rollo's farm got the short end of the stick? Yep, for some reason their farms hit harder than the others. It sucks. It's gotten better since Perennial Harvest came to town. Beacon Pines Reborn initiative. Yep, first thing they did was do a town deep scrub. And put us up in hotels, one town over for the week while they decontaminated the groundwater. Better get going. Okay, already done all this. Haven't caught all of them yet, though. We'll get there. Last time, me and Rollo had a fight. It's about time. I was about to give up and go home. Who's the new kid? And he's back. He must be Rollo. I see my reputation precedes me. Without mission control.
Rollo waggled his head with pride.
You find we've spared no expense in its construction. I've seen worse looking piles of junk. Thanks. Hey Luca, you know the security concerns we talked about? Yeah. I was waiting. I made some improvements. Let me lock this baby down for a little test infiltration. Can't be too safe these days. Gotta roll it up. Oh, beeps. He goes all out, doesn't he? Oh, always. That's so good at throwing. There you go. Oh, now it's moving. Great. Where'd you guys get all this junk in the first place? This guy Tan and Jeff who trades this junk for snacks. Junk food for junk. Nice. So, pretty sweet security, right? It was imaginative, I'll give you that. Look over here, you can trust the new recruit. I'll vouch for her. Thanks, I guess? Okay, Luca, you promised to fill me in about the Valentine warehouse.
Luca sucked in a long breath.
So like I said, there was someone there. What were they doing? I don't know, but the place was lit up and active. Maybe they're squatters? I don't think so. It seemed more organized. When the man pulled me in, I saw some sort of equipment running. Man pulled you in? Yeah, but I got away. Keep saying it was a man. They're wearing a mask, right? Yeah. It could have been a woman. How'd you get away? Grabbed a rock or something and broke their mask. Let go and I ran. Dang. That's intense. When you freaked out when you saw your grandma? Yeah, that's the other part. On our way here, Beck and I saw Harris Valentine meeting with Gran. We're in the same sort of hazmat suit.
Rollo let out a low whistle.
And we're there for an idle chit-chat. It's a proper clandestine meetup. So let me get this straight. It's an operation in full swing at the Valentine warehouse. You were almost abducted by a strange man or woman in a protective suit. And then you saw your Gran in the same suit talking to Harris Valentine? Pretty much. You think this town is kinda awesome.
Rollo and Luca shot back a look.
No offense. And so we can logically conclude aliens or alien zombies have infiltrated the town. The leader is your Gran, and she tried to murder you. First of all, and for the last time, there are no aliens. Second, it couldn't have been my Gran at the warehouse. I broke that person's mask to get away. The mask Gran was wearing wasn't damaged. But she's definitely hiding something. Yeah, maybe. Green is weird, but she might be the most boring person in the universe. Well, she doesn't sit around all day making jam. What could she possibly have to hide? I don't know, we haven't talked much since you moved in. Moved in? Your Gran isn't from here? No, she came a few months back to take care of me after his mom went missing. Did you know your Gran before? Not really, no. Been years since I'd seen her. Look, I don't take this the wrong way, but are we sure your Gran is on the up and up?
Luca gazed out the window.
I'm just saying. Sounds like strange stuff's been happening since she showed up. I say the same thing about your family, but you're right. Luke, your Gran is hiding something. Pa always says folks only bury stuff worth digging up. You need to investigate your house. Your Gran is really hiding something. Do you think I would have noticed by now? It's kind of the whole point of hiding something. I guess you're right. Gran's been leaving the house for hours at a time this week. I'll call you two tomorrow when the coast is clear. We can start getting to the bottom of this. I'm always game for a good snoop. You can count me in.
Chapter 6. Secret Lair.
Ooh.
Summer forged ahead, but the nights only seemed to grow colder. Luca walked home slowly under the pale starlight, cautious to avoid any more surprises lurking in the shadows. Reaching home, he slipped quietly into bed, half dreading what they might discover the next day.
What time is it? earth is that? Hmm? Ridiculous thing on your head. This? It helps me think. Getting a lot more of those. Joke all you want. Seems laugh when I crack this case wide open. Coast is clear? Yep, whatever she's been up to this week has been keeping her busy most of the day. Very well. The game is afoot.
Luca and Beck rolled their eyes as Rollo strutted across the room.
If I were Gran, where would I hide my deepest, darkest secrets? Perhaps where you might least expect it.
Rollo flung open the cabinet with confidence.
Aha!
He coughed as a veil of dust hit his face.
I think it's safe to assume that anything dusty isn't what we're looking for. Maybe that's what she wants you to think. Then again, any good detective knows not to trust their first hunch. First hunches are for suckers. Eureka! She lit a fire in order to burn the evidence. She's that fire going every day, Rollo. Drat, it may already be too late. Just think of the mountains of documents lost to ash! Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. Can we just think for a moment? Luca, is there anywhere Gran doesn't want you to go? Yeah, the closet upstairs. So it stands to reason we should check there first. No dice, it's locked. Well, well, well. Who stands to reason now? I have no idea where the key is. If it really is important, she probably keeps it with her. Anywhere else? She has her berry bushes. Who has ever thought I'm going to take this important thing and huck it in a bush? True. Anything else? Maybe something out of the ordinary? Well, she is always worried I'll break her fancy dishware in the kitchen. It doesn't matter anyway, I can't reach the latch.
A look of realization crept onto Luca's face. All three kids snapped to glance at each other, then sprinted in turn toward the kitchen.
Alright, Rollo. It's your time to shine. Ah, yes. Called upon my expert detective skills. And now I shall proceed
Before
with...
he could finish, Luca scrambled up Rollo's back.
Hey, this isn't my idea of detective work. Every squad needs a good lockpick. And every good lockpick needs a sturdy head to stand on. This is beneath my standing. Stop complaining and hold still. Got it.
The three crowded around the hutch to peer in. With the glass doors opened, a perfect porcelain display gleamed in front of them. Their eyes searched for anything amiss, but the only distinct feature was its impeccability.
Well, that was anticlimactic. Yeah. Don't really know what we were expecting. Like, oh hey. You just yank on this random teacup
As Beck
and...
pulled on one of the teacups, it slanted forward with a hollow click. The entire hutch began to rustle and slide under its own power.
Seems like your Gran's been doing some remodeling. Dude, only two types of people have secret layers. Evil masterminds and superheroes. So which one do we think she is? We're about to find out. Okay, so more of an unhinged conspiracist vibe? Oh, wow. Yeah, this cannot be good. You look around before jumping to conclusions. What do we have here? Barrels marked caution explosive and jam jars? Jam to feed the whole town. What kind of incendiary jam is your Gran making? Oh. She wouldn't have me walk around town delivering bombs, right? Way to find out.
Rollo casually spun open a lid and dipped his finger in the jam.
Huckleberries.
He smacked his lips.
Hint of brown sugar. And ink? What?
Rollo plunged his hand in the jar, fishing out a soggy slip of paper.
Uh-huh.
Rollo offered the slimy note to Luca and licked his fingers clean.
It's addressed to Mrs. Fratelli. A grand jamgram? It says, last night I used the disguise airs provided to scout the location. Tiny windows should be possible. Operation Spark Plug is a go. Oh man, are they doing a heist? Whatever it is, it can't be good. It's more a bombshell than a bomb, am I right? You're new here, so I'll let that slide. But I'm the bad joke guy around here.
A spider web of string connected photos of people from the town, interspersed with hastily scrawled notes.
Oh, she sure has kept herself busy. Is Grant a serial killer? So I'm trying to get a vibe. Don't be ridiculous. Sure, she's just tracking the movements of everyone in town. Out of the kindness of her heart. She put little symbols by some of them. Yeah, Mr. Nooncreed has a check mark. Clipboards are all inside a big circle. My moms are both on there. Both with question marks. Gus Valentine has a question mark. Harris has a question mark that's been crossed out. Mr. Kerr has a bullseye. The killer has chosen her next victim. We don't know what any of this means. Whatever it means, it's probably not good.
Luca jostled each cabinet drawer in turn. Only one was unlocked. He fingered through the filing cabinet, pausing at a bulging folder labeled Walter. For a long moment, he just stared at it.
What you got there? It's my dad. It's like some of his old medical files. Your dad was a doctor?
Luca nodded and caressed the label with his thumb.
Well, are you gonna read it? Here, let me help.
Rollo swiped the folder from the drawer and began leafing through the pages. He whistled to himself, barely looking at the text.
But you actually read some of it. One sec. Its documents such as this are a lot like a cheeseburger. Let's just skip straight to the middle. That's where all the meaty bits live. Wow, I had no idea we were in the presence of the preeminent scholar in dense documents. And cheeseburgers. By all means, proceed.
He stopped at a page and mimed, holding up a monocle.
Here we are. Follow-up examination of Terrence Willoughby. Patient shows further signs of paleness and malaise. Body temperature continues to drop. He now describes soreness of muscles and joints. This is similar to the symptoms exhibited by Mrs. Willoughby just a few days past. Still waiting on lab results from Joseph.
Rollo looked up with heightened surprise.
See? Creepy. Yeah, that's kind of disturbing. Who's Joseph? It's Mr. Nooncreed's name. Wait.
Rollo's finger traced across the page.
There's more scribbled in the margins. Could it be contagious? Mr. Willoughby claims the tap water at his home has been contaminated. Perhaps environmental? Lab results only raise more questions. So he came back to this report later and made those notes. So it might be related to something else.
Rollo scanned through several more pages.
Here, the writing looks shaky. I just couldn't help her. This disease, or whatever it is, progresses so fast. And with his wife passing, Terrence's condition falls close behind. Exacerbated by the loss. Enough is enough. I need to take matters into my own hands.
Luca, staring blankly at the cabinet this whole time, spoke softly.
What does it say next?
Rollo rustled the folder, trying to loose more pages.
That's where it ends. What? There has to be more.
Luca frantically shoved the remaining cabinet folders, trying to find another labeled Walter.
Look, I think that's the only one. It's alphabetical, see? What do you mean enough is enough? How do you take matters into his own hands? This is bullshit.
Luca slammed the drawer shut. They crowded around a worn-down old map of Beacon Pines.
Cool, so it looks like a treasure map. Not every old map is a treasure map, Rollo. Yeah, but every treasure map is an old map. Can't follow that logic. Look, there's even a pathway drawn on it. So it's the entrance to town. If we follow
Rollo
it,
carefully traced the path with his finger.
leads right to...
He jabbed down at the end point.
Town square? It's the fountain in the middle of town. What a weird place to hide treasure. Well, that doesn't look like treasure to me. And the path on my map is the same symbol as those explosives over there. So it's not hiding treasure. A real bummer. Rollo, what's the thing you've been excited about for the past month? The festival. Gulp. Did you say gulp? This feels like a gulp kind of situation. Everyone will be gathered near the center of town. She's gonna blow up the festival. Not if we stop her. What was that?
Luca looked up from the map.
What was what? No, I heard it too. That was the front door. It just means someone just shut the door. Which means someone's upstairs. Shh, quiet. Hit the lights.
Beck flicked off the light, and they became statues in the dark. Overhead, creaking floorboards bent under slow, deliberate steps. The kids looked up, the tilt of their necks following each footfall. Then suddenly, it stopped. Without realizing, they'd been holding their breath. All three exhaled shakily and glanced at each other. A muffled male voice broke the silence.
Hello?
A final few footsteps reached the entrance above them, and a voice now echoed down the stairs.
Anyone down here?
The three kids shuffled to the corners without a peep. As he began to descend the stairs, the man's voice punctuated every new step. Thump,
Yo-ho!
thump,
Not here to hurt anyone.
thump,
Just here to help. Just...
thump. At the bottom step, the man paused, squinting to search the room for signs of life.
Huh. Guess it's nothing.
Rollo shifted suddenly. Luca gave him an intense, chastising look and whispered through clenched teeth.
Rollo, don't.
It was too late. Rollo was already inching toward the stairway. He screeched as he charged toward the shadowy figure.
Flaming chicken coop!
With all his weight, Rollo tackled the man to the ground.
Rollo? Serious creepy man? Anyone there?
From the dark corner, they saw something move.
Well, I didn't know if I had it in me. There was only one way to find out. Like crap, Rollo, that was awesome. Wait, did you just kill that person?
Luca scrambled to the hunched figure on the ground, pressing his fingers to the man's neck. He sighed with relief.
Sure clobbered him good, Rollo. He's knocked out cold.
As Beck flicked back on the light, Luca and Rollo both gasped in stereo.
Mr. Tolliver.
Chapter 7. The Interrogation of Hiram Tolliver.
Oh. Investigations. Interrogations.
Still unconscious, Mr. Tolliver slumped heavily in a shoddy old chair. His hands were bound with rope, his feet tied with some loose string. The kids huddled in a circle, discussing their plan. One thing was certain, they couldn't just let Mr. Tolliver go. They needed to know what he was doing in Luca's house. After some deliberation, it was decided.
Classic good cop. Chill cop? Hard cop. Good cop, chill cop.
They'd run the classic good cop, chill cop interrogation.
There you go. You got it. I'll handle this. Just gotta play cool.
Luca walked calmly to the light switch, flicking it off and on a few times. Mr. Tolliver shook his head, gathering his wits.
Golly, I sure got my bell rung.
He looked over to find Luca, who returned a calming grin.
Sorry, Mr. Tolliver. Saw a big mistake. Luca, what's going on here? Why do you have me strapped down? No one's fault, really. Rollo just got a little startled. Rolo's here?
Rollo and Beck emerged from hiding to give a timid wave.
Well, alright. Mistakes happen. Kids gave old Hero a good scare. Let's let me just get out of these ropes and call it even.
Luca glanced over to Rollo and Beck, who replied with skeptical looks.
Mr. Tulliver, why are you in my grand's basement? I'm here to help, of course. Help with what? What's my grand up to? You just cut me loose, I can show you. How do we know we can trust you?
Mr. Tolliver exhaled with disappointment.
Look, have I ever done anything wrong by you? No. Since your grand moved to town, haven't I been nothing but welcoming? Yeah. So I don't turn my back on your family now. It's just, all this stuff seems pretty weird. A board with names of people from town. Archive of my dad's old disturbing patient notes.
Luca gestured to the corner.
Barrels of explosives. I can explain everything. You just need to untie me. Kids deserve an explanation.
Luca looked again to Rollo and Beck. This time they shrugged. Luca began to slowly loosen the bindings. Mr. Tolliver gently rubbed his wrists.
That's a good lad. This all makes sense in time.
He edged imperceptibly toward the stairs as he spoke.
See, this town has secrets, Luca. Very dark past indeed.
Before the kids had even noticed his movement, Mr. Tolliver was at the light switch.
Past that must be brought
He
to...
punctuated his final words by flicking the switch and rushing up the stairs.
Like... Son of a...
Beck darted to the wall and turned back on the lights. It was too late. Rollo confirmed what they all heard.
He just locked us down here.
Mr. Tolliver's muffled voice came from behind the door.
I wasn't lying, you know. This is for your own good. Kids, just keep tight down there and let the adults handle this.
They looked bewildered at each other.
Play it cool, huh? Not now, Beck.
They heard the staccato thump of quick steps exiting the house. The kids looked down in resignation. This isn't how it goes in Hank Atomic. For some reason, they'd always assumed it was up to them to save their town. Luca opened his mouth, hoping to conjure some magical words to make this right. Only a hollow croak escaped. The end. Well, we certainly aren't going to find a grand resolution to our tale locked in a basement.
I don't know. You can do a lot of cool things locked in a basement. Maggie raid? Hello, Maggie. Thank you for raiding. Oh my goodness.
Back to the drawing board.
Let's see. Oh. Why? Oh my. Beginner's Guide to Hostile Interrogation. Okay. Lots of options. Okay, let's see. Well, I hope you all are doing good. I'm working on story time, as you do. I was interrogating a man and did a very bad job. Problem is that I was too chill. I mean, I think that that's common. It's common to be too chill. Let's get dramatic. Oh, I'm doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good. Doing good. Just chillaxing before a day of work, as you do. Learning about horrible secrets. Legal interrogation or illegal? Well, I mean, he kind of broke into his house, but he was also invited, and there was like a secret. I don't know. Probably illegal. I don't know. Can 12-year-olds do like legal interrogation? I'm not sure. We'll make that interrogation hard. Let's do that. Legal, got it, yes. On the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. There we go.
They'd run the classic good cop, hard cop interrogation. Rollo brandished a steely gaze.
You got this, Rollo.
I've got this. Read about it 100 times.
I believe in you, Rollo.
Rollo swaggered past the chair which propped up the slumping Hiram Tolliver. Without even looking at his captive, he began with a long, blustery drawl.
Well, 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 Mr. Tolliver.
Mr. Tolliver remained motionless. Rollo spun around to face him. He'd clearly expected to rouse Mr. Tolliver with his booming voice.
Mr. Tolliver?
Beck and Luca gave each other an unsure glance. Rollo slammed his fist on the table.
I said, Mr. Tolliver!
He grabbed the table lamp and beamed it onto the unconscious face. Mr. Tolliver groaned and slowly lifted his head. He recoiled with a muddled, weary squint.
What in the world?
The chair wobbled as he attempted to straighten up.
Who's there?
Mr. Tolliver could only make out rough shapes through the glaring light. With a gruff tone, Rollo hoped to both conceal his voice and intimidate.
I'll be asking the questions here, punk. Now, hold on, let's just calm down. Oh, I am calm. Calm as a carrot in dirt. As for you, looks like you're sweating.
The doubtful expression on Beck and Luca's faces transformed into awe.
We can do this my way, or... Well, let's just say I've never needed another way.
Rollo, hitting his stride, was now channeling every detective trope his memory could recall. He slammed the table again.
Now dance! What? I don't even...
Mr. Tolliver's voice became desperate. He was nearly in tears.
You tied me down. How on earth can I dance? Dance with your mouth, punk. Oh yeah, mouth dancing. Love it. Spill the beans! What are you doing poking around this house? I'm here to help Juniper. Make sure everything's ready. Oh, so you're in cahoots with Gran? Gran?
Mr. Tolliver was in a daze, now more confused than ever.
Gonna help her blow up the festival, eh? Blow up the festival? Good lord.
He shook his head, feeling more and more dizzy.
No, you got it all wrong. Where is she now? She's headed to the source. Source? What's the source? It's where
His voice faded to a whisper.
the town began. Where it all began. What is Operation Spark Plug?
With that, Mr. Tolliver passed out cold. Rollo swung around with a repentant grimace.
Damn, Rollo. I think you went a little too hard on him. What did he say about the source? That's where the town began? I need more information. Yeah, but we better not push Mr. Tolliver any farther. Is there anyone else who might know more? What about the History Museum? You just got set up for the festival. Now that tent was put up by the Valentines. Everything they do is just a bunch of fluff to glorify themselves. Is there anything more reliable? Library. Is there information about this source thing? Kato can help us find it. Let's go get some answers. Hey, Jace. Oh, hey, Luca. Have you seen this new issue of Hank Atomic? Not yet. No spoilers, please. It's awesome. It's a flashback. No spoilers, please. Get to see how mild-mannered Henry Adams becomes Hank Atomic, spaceman of space justice. Space justice is definitely more cool than normal justice. Jace, no spoilers. Oh, sorry. point is, you're gonna love it. Alright, Jace. Catch you later. Roger that, Space Cadet. This is a dang nice library. Thanks, we work hard on it. You're a little young to be a librarian. Oh, Cuddle hung out here so much, eventually they just gave him a set of keys. I just keep an eye on the place for Miss Novak sometimes. I got you working for free? It's quiet and I get access to all the books I can read. I'm working a person want. Fair enough. What can I do for y'all? You need a favor. I already told you and Rolo. I can't put you any higher on the wait list for the next tank of tonic. If you're here with more candy, I'll have you know I can't be bought. Call it a personal code of conscience. Actually, we were looking to do some research. Now you're speaking my language. What are you looking for? The thing is, we sort of don't know. Maybe on the history of the town. That's the county record archives. What's in those? Births, deaths, newspaper clippings, stuff like that. Pretty boring reading. We do go all the way back to when the town was founded. Great, we'll start there.
Chapter 8. 6 feet under, 3 towns over. The kids spent the rest of the afternoon combing through dusty piles of old county records, desperately searching for anything that could help them make sense of Mr. Tolliver's cryptic utterance. Luca tried to shake the thought of Gran's basement, but his focus wavered. Explosives, messages hidden in jam, dossiers on various town figures, and a corkboard threaded with photos. Gran was the only family he had left. He still couldn't bring himself to believe the worst. But the old map with the symbol of explosives in town square made that difficult. As the sun began to set, the kids were no closer to the truth.
After reading any more records, my eyeballs are gonna pop. We have to keep digging. If I dig another word, I'm gonna end up in one of these asinine death records. Rollo Cotter lived a full and wonderful life. Till he read so much boring crud that his brain oozed out of his ears.
Rollo shut his book with an assertive nod.
You got a better idea, spit it out. Sound like my sister. Keep pushing your luck, pal. And it won't be boring county records that kill you. Put you in the obituaries myself.
Rollo muttered under his breath.
Your county record. Really? That's the best you got? I'm done with you. You'll be at the footnote in history. Just like...
Beck slammed her finger down on the open page before glancing down to read.
J. Hartford here. Love to see you try. Hey. We're all a little tired here. Let's take a minute and...
Something tickled the back of Luca's mind.
Wait, what was that name back? In the obit? J. Hartford. From the Brookfield Tribune 8 years ago. That can't be right. What is it? J. Hartford. That's my grand's name, Juniper Hartford. Are there 2 J. Hartfords? Miss Hartford was survived by her younger daughter, E. Hartford. Mom's name is Eleanor. Okay, this is getting creepy. Ran 6 feet under, 3 towns over. Then who am I living with?
The question hung in the air.
Alright, gang, I gotta close up for the night.
Beck rubbed her eyes.
How late is it? Almost 10. Oh crap, Paul's gonna kill me. Gotta go. Yeah, my parents will be worried sick. Okay, let's meet up as early as we can at the festival tomorrow. What are you gonna do about the unconscious man in your basement? I'll think of something.
Luca's heart was pounding as he approached the house. If he was lucky, Gran, or whoever it was, hadn't gotten back yet. And of course, there was Mr. Tolliver tied up and unconscious in the basement. Dealing with him would be the first order of business. Luca shook out his arms to calm his nerves before entering. He held perfectly still, tempering his breath, and listened closely. She was asleep. His only hope was that she hadn't found Mr. Tolliver before dozing off.
Hey. Hey, Gran. That's your real name. I'm gonna go beat up your friend some more. Using fists. Oh no.
Mr. Tolliver was nowhere to be seen.
Maybe he woke up, escaped from his bindings, and left without a trace.
Or maybe Gran knew everything.
What do I do?
Luca's hungry stomach groaned. Not realizing it, he'd gone the entire day without eating.
Okay, I can figure this out. Just need a little brain food.
Luca rushed over to the pile of jam jars, unscrewed one, and shoveled a handful into his mouth.
Afraid your jam delivery will be delayed.
He flipped the lid to read the label.
Mr. Newton Creed. Okay, now I can think. So if Grant knows we tied up Mr. Tolliver, I'm screwed. She doesn't know that I need to play it cool. I guess the only option is to go to bed and act if nothing is wrong. Grant will think Mr. Tolliver was finished what he was sent to do and left when he was done. Oh. Oh no. Bran? Oh, okay, stick to the plan. Go to bed, play cool.
As Luca climbed the final stair, the emotion of the day dragged heavily on him. With each consecutive step, his legs weakened. His stride began to falter. He tried to grab for the railing to steady himself. Something was wrong.
Yeah, you ate poison jam, my dude. Come on, legs. Just a few more steps.
Luca groaned and tried to move. His limbs might as well have been bolted to the ground. Through numb lips, he mumbled just before falling asleep.
The germ? Delicious germ. Oh, hey, mission accomplished. We got to sleep. Sweet boy. What'd you get yourself into? Rest now and let me handle everything.
Chapter 9. A speech to end all speeches. Luca awoke to find himself face down in bed. He moaned into his pillow. Why would Gran drug him? Or rather, why was she trying to drug Mr. Nuncreed?
Because he's a creepo?
Shaking the questions from his woozy head, Luca snapped back to the matter at hand.
The festival. Love to be drugged. Where have you been? Gran put something in this jam. Yeah, we know. Secret messages for secret conspirators. Not this one. This one was intended for Mr. Newton Creed. Put me to sleep. Whoa, ho. Sly devil. Oh. Yep, that's Luca. That's Sly. I think she's trying to remove him from the equation. He might be in danger. Have you found anything? Look, but we haven't seen anything odd. Grant's nowhere to be found. The Mr. Nooncreed's just left around waiting for the speech. What speech? Mayor Gus just got up to the podium. Everyone's gathering at the stage. Let's get moving.
A Augustus Valentine nervously wiped his brow.
Ahem. Is this thing... hello, Beacon Pines. I'm Augustus Valentine, your mayor, and I suppose you already know that. Well, yes, before we get started, I just wanted to take a moment to recognize someone who couldn't be here today. Town wouldn't be where it is today without my father, Sharper Valentine. So I thought we could begin with a round of applause benefiting such a great man. Even that's more than the old codger deserved.
Gus cleared his throat and awkwardly loosened his tie.
Right, where was I?
William Kerr bounded on the stage with the energy of a preacher at a big tent revival.
Gus Valentine, everyone.
He gave Gus a hearty slap on the back and motioned him off the stage.
Let's hear it for our mayor. What a great turnout. Aw, heck, I didn't prepare anything. But I suppose I could say a few words. Would be ashamed to waste such a beautiful podium.
Mr. Kerr pulled a thick stack of note cards out from his vest.
Community, conviction, commitment. These are the things we celebrate at Perennial Harvest. For us, these are the pillars of a bridge to a better tomorrow. But I think it's time to add a new pillar. Change. Change is a powerful thing. It's inexorable, unavoidable, and undeniable. And I am dang gum thankful for it. Change is the reason we're all together today. It's hard for me to believe that it was only 4 years ago when fate brought me here. A simple business trip which brought me to a small town which changed my life forever.
Mr. Kerr took a moment to survey the crowd.
You know what?
He wiped away a single tear.
For a second I set foot in Beacon Pines, something about this place has held me captive. You see, change represents opportunity. It represents potential. It's change that helped me to recognize the potential of this place. See that the people of this town, despite suffering great loss, still held on to the things that made them special.
He thumped the podium to emphasize each word.
Community, conviction, commitment, change.
Mr. Kerr nodded confidently, biting his lip. The crowd was silent, in rapt attention.
Fate made a perfect match that day. Nothing is more important to you all than community. And Perennial Harvest is a community, first and foremost.
Mr. Kerr methodically made eye contact with each section of the crowd.
The only way you made it through the foul harvest was an unshakable conviction. Conviction that a better tomorrow was just over the horizon. Perennial Harvest was founded on the conviction that we are that horizon. The festival is a symbol of our commitment to each other.
His voice began to build to a crescendo.
We now walk hand in hand into a future we will shape together. That's what change is all about. Grabbing the future by the scruff of the neck and making things happen. Change is a choice. I'm tickled pink that we will all be making that choice together. How great is that? Just imagine what we can accomplish. What was that?
The crowd began to look around nervously.
Don't worry, a little thunder isn't going to ruin this day. Everyone remain calm.
Mr. Kerr quickly flicked through his note cards.
Where was I? Throughout my travels, I've learned one true thing. One always reaps what they sow. We've all planted a lot of good in this town. And so it is with a happy heart that I can
He
proclaim,
raised his hands up to the heavens.
our harvest awaits! Uh-huh.
At that moment, a merciless wall of impossibly cold air ripped through the crowd, instantly freezing everyone and everything it touched. For a man like William Kerr, this was a fitting way for things to end. On a stage, with an entire town frozen in rapt attention for the rest of time. The end.
There's that ice again! Whenever I think we're getting close, it comes along and ruins everything! Maybe we should just quit? Maybe you should just close the book, walk away, and never think of me again!
No, I don't mean that.
Oh, narrator.
We got a little closer this time. We just need to try again. Please.
Okay, now we can be sly with our hostile interrogation. I think we need to try over here. I haven't done this. So this is the side of the tree where Rollo got kidnapped. So
Luca drew himself up and decided to take the only option they had left. Flight. He squinted down the barrel of the mission control defense cannon, aiming it through an opening in the dense tree branches. He looked up with surprise as it struck true and taut.
wow, I can't believe that worked. Hey, Mr. Care. We'd love to hear your thoughts, but I'm afraid we have places to be. Come on, Iggy. See you jerks. Fine, we know where that leads them. This way, we'll take the tunnels.
Luca and Iggy winced as they sprinted through the thicket. The branches clawed at them, reluctant to give passage. After what felt like a marathon, Luca stopped in his tracks as they reached the clearing. What the? That was all he was able to say before Iggy slammed into his back. The boys tumbled down a steep decline and crashed with a wheezing thud on a surface as hard as ice. In fact, it was ice. Chapter 5. Signs. They stood silently, catching their breath. The sky was like sapphire. With each breath, a plume of steam escaped from Luca's lungs. Let's keep moving. Luca pulled Iggy to his feet as they gazed across a snowy terrain.
That's actually pretty badass. Uh-huh. I think we lost him. Are we up in the mountains? I don't think so. If anything, we went downhill. What's up with the Winter Wonderland? All I know is there's no going back the way we came. Let's just see if we can get our bearings. Follow me. Luca, are you there?
Luca had almost forgotten the walkie-talkie he was carrying.
It's that bozo Care. Hope nothing bad has happened to you out in those woods.
Luca looked at Iggy with hesitation.
No need to be rude.
With a resigned sigh, Luca responded.
Seems like the only dangerous thing in the woods is you. He speaks, the young man of the hour. Now, how in tarnation did you end up with one of our radios? Just lucky, I guess. Boy, howdy, you Van Horns are full of surprises, aren't you? You knew my parents? I never had the honor of meeting your father, but your mom sure was a handful.
Luca winced, shoving the walkie-talkie back into his pocket.
Gotta keep moving. What's the readout? Still sitting above 258 Kelvin. It's a bit down. That's down a bit from last time. Should we report this to Mr. Care? Meh, still within safe ranges. Maybe spreading, but it's under control for now. A small nudge in the equilibrium could cause a cascade. Dude, relax. A few more sites to hit before we can bunch out. Let's get this over with. What's all this? Hard to say with all the snow. I think it's a town sign. Can almost make out the letters under there. What could this town even be? There couldn't be another town this deep into the Weepwood. Looking at evidence to the contrary, let's figure out what we're dealing with here. Step 1, snow's gotta go. I'll see what I can do.
The boys stared in disbelief at the sign that now clearly read, "Welcome to Beacon Pines."
This doesn't make any sense. We're in Beacon Pines? How's that possible? We ran away from town. How did we get back here? Guess we got turned around? Where did all the snow come from? Well, it's been colder than normal lately. That's a pretty big difference between sweater weather and this Arctic hellscape. The puddle we fought at before, it was cold too. Maybe all of it leads to one source? I think it's related. What the hell's going on? We're gonna get you some answers. Let's keep moving. It's all frozen.
Looking down at the frozen stream, Luca could faintly see a school of minnows encased in the ice.
Whatever happened here, it happened fast. Fish didn't even have time to run. Or, you know, swim run.
The crunching of footsteps trailing Luca went hush. He looked back to see Iggy's face twisted with confusion.
Everyone's gone. What? There's nothing here but more snow. There must be an explanation for all this. We have to keep looking. No, look all you want. I quit. Iggy, we have to keep going. You don't get it, do you? This isn't just one of your pathetic Hank Atomic stories. We aren't going to save the day. We aren't even going to save ourselves. My face is mangled. The town is destroyed. And everyone we've ever known is gone. You don't know that. You can't just quit. Do whatever you want. I'm done. Iggy, it's gonna be okay.
Luca peered upward at the darkening sky. He let out a long, foggy breath. Faintly, Iggy began to cry. Seeing Iggy in such a pathetic state gave Luca a sense of compassion, and more than a little guilt.
It's getting pretty late, I think. Why not a great idea to stumble around in the dark anyway?
Luca allowed himself to collapse next to Iggy.
Let's just rest for a bit.
The boys huddled together for warmth and comfort. If not for exhaustion, their minds would be racing, trying to make sense of the events of the day. As it was, all they had energy for was to sit in silence, numb.
The way the snow covered everything over, it's kind of calming. Yeah. I haven't had time to say it, but thanks. Huh? For getting us away from those creeps. I sort of froze up back there. Iggy, I should be the one apologizing. This all happened because I lost my temper. Nah, that's bull hockey. First of all, you didn't know what that gunk would do. You didn't, right? Of course not. Second, stop with this bullying about losing your temper. I did lose my temper.
Iggy motioned sarcastically to his half-deformed face.
Obviously. That's exactly what you should have done. Huh? It's being a horse's ass. You're supposed to be a horse's ass in response. That's how it works. Iggy, I'm having a hard time following. You wanted me to fight you? Of course. Geez, you goody-goody types take forever to understand this very basic point. Don't you go around saying cruel things to try to get into fights?
Iggy shrugged.
Something to do. You're an asshole because you're bored? Sometimes I just feel empty. You won't understand. You and Merle are always having a blast together. Laughing and calling that dinky little treehouse missing control.
Iggy now wept openly.
Perfect little Luca Van Horn. This perfect little life. Life is not perfect. Everyone in your town likes you. Not everybody. Hell, that new girl hasn't even packed yet, and even she already likes you. You have Tish.
He wiped his nose with a sleeve.
I love Tish. Tish is great. But she ain't exactly the world's greatest conversationalist, you know?
Luca gave a warm chuckle.
I get that impression.
Iggy cleared his throat as he wiped his eyes.
Huh, must be raining out here. Definitely.
Iggy arched into a wide yawn.
Should probably try to get some sleep. Yeah. Let's lay low for now. Tomorrow we'll get to the bottom of all this.
Luca's eyelids began to slowly drift shut.
Luca? Yeah? I always did want to see the inside of your dinky little treehouse. What do you think? Not bad. I'll give you the full tour when we get back. You know what?
That's all Luca could whisper before succumbing to sleep. Iggy snuggled in some more.
That's the worst days of my entire life. This one wasn't half bad.
The house smelled of warm bread. Luca was playing with toy blocks on the living room rug. He looked up to see his parents on the couch. His mother held his father's head in her lap. She idly stroked his hair while humming a song. A voice behind Luca spoke. "This is how you remember them, huh?" Luca turned to see his own face. The doppelganger from his dreams, still clad in a yellow hazmat suit, still carrying a look of disdain behind empty eyes. Aw, look at this perfectly cozy scene. You know it wasn't really like this. The figure picked up a toy block and inspected it. It's amazing the facades that one can build given the right materials. Not that I blame us. These are a child's memories, all warm and fuzzy. You don't remember, do you? Lucas snatched the block from the figure's yellow-gloved hand. Remember what? The doppelganger pointed to the couch. The last day we saw him alive. The day he chose to abandon us. Luca turned to look at his father, still lounging on the couch. That's not true. He didn't abandon us. The doppelganger waved his hand dismissively. Everything is true here. It's just a matter of what we choose to see. Well, let me show you. The world flickered and pulsed. Luca was sitting next to his bed, listening to his heartbeat with one of his dad's stethoscopes. The doppelganger limped into the room. No, we both know that's not how this went. He grabbed Luca's hand and guided the stethoscope to the floor. Luca heard muffled shouting, brought close by the stethoscope. It was his parents, fighting. Do you remember what we did next? Luca gave a slow nod and crept down the hall to peek through the banister. He could see the outline of his mother at the bottom of the stairs. Damn it, Walt. We can't afford to get involved in this. She was scared. His father stepped forward. What am I supposed to do? Just watch? There's a sickness in this town, and we both know who's behind it. I swore an oath to help people. I won't turn my back on them. Luca's mother grabbed Walt. She was crying, pleading. I can't lose you. Walt calmly removed Eleanor's hand from his shoulder. What's right is right, and what's wrong is wrong. I could never live with myself if I let Sharper get away with this. Eleanor raised her voice. Spare me your bullshit platitudes. What about our son? Luca flinched, dropping the stethoscope down the stairs. Walt turned with a panicked smile. Luca, is that you, buddy? With tears in his eyes, Luca descended the stairs. Mom? Dad? What's going on? Walt dropped to a knee to meet Luca eye to eye. Nothing, buckaroo. Your mom and I just got a little overexcited is all. Luca placed the stethoscope against his father's chest. His heart was racing. It sounded like you were going somewhere? Walt gently removed the device from Luca's ears. Listen to me, Luca. I have some business to take care of. I'll be back in time to tuck you in. Luca hugged his father tightly. Promise? Walt stood up and walked to the door. He glanced over his shoulder. I promise. With a wink and a grin, he put on his hat and strode out into the evening sun. A figure approached soundlessly from the foggy snowfall. It stood above them, lingering in contemplation. Slowly raising one hand above Iggy, it snapped out 2 brisk raps on his head. From a deep slumber, Iggy sprang up defensively.
Get your hands off me.
Whether it was the calming presence or the recognition that he was not in danger, Iggy felt his clenched fists lower.
So what do you think you're doing?
Luca looked up, gradually remembering his whereabouts. The figure exhaled a cloud of warm vapor.
You certainly have caused a lot of commotion. What's that supposed to mean? Take it easy, Iggy. You're asleep minding your own business. You're the one running around knocking up people's heads. Sorry if I hurt you, Iggy. You didn't hurt nobody. Anybody. Huh? Oh, I see. Think you're better than me, you...
When it came to complete strangers, Iggy had trouble cobbling together an insult.
You big-hatted, scarfy-necked furball. Okay, let's lower the temperature a bit here. Interesting choice of words. I mean, let's all just calm down. Who are you? Friend? Observer? Hitchhiker on the infinite expanse of possibility. Great. How about a name? You must call me something. You can call me Nat.
Iggy huffed with gratification.
How about you make like a gnat and buzz off? Very well.
Nat began to turn away indifferently.
Wait. Do you live here? You might say that. Do you know where we are? I'd also say that. Look, pal, we just want to find a safe way out of here. You gotta help us or not? Before knowing how to leave, we must know where they are. Alright, that is it. Look, Luca, I don't know about you, but I'm getting out of here one way or another.
Iggy turned sharply and began to stomp off.
Enough of the riddles. Iggy, wait up.
Realizing he'd worn their patience then, Nat relented.
Very well, I suppose this isn't the time for metaphors. I'll show you how to get back home.
Luca and Iggy turned around with hope in their eyes.
Come here.
Nat took a deep breath in.
Close your eyes.
Nat exhaled slowly, then snapped his fingers.
Okay, open them.
For a brief moment, Luca and Iggy let themselves believe that some great magic was about to unfold, until they opened their eyes and found themselves in the exact same place, cold and disheartened.
This is your home. This is Beacon Pines. Look, Nat, we don't know how we got here. Maybe we stumbled through some time travel gate in Weepwood, or was teleported to some alternate universe, or this is all some cruel experiment by Karen and his goons. This is not our home. We're inching closer to the truth. Alas, the reality is much less fanciful. Just get to it straight. So be it. As I said, this is Beacon Pines. The original true Beacon Pines. You both grew up here, but the town you've called your home for the past several years is a replica. Remarkable achievement of engineering, to be fair. A replica nonetheless. That's impossible. It's too much work. You need a whole town to replicate a whole town. Indeed, to pull off such a feat would require immense labor power. That which could be moved would be moved. That which could not would require a precise duplicate. We would have noticed. Someone would have noticed. You'd think so, unless the auditing was impeccable. Mind-numbing attention to detail. As for the innumerable trivialities to complete the tapestry, well, you can leave that to this miraculous thing we call a brain. It's a real aversion to discontinuity, or revulsion even. Brain has a wonderful way of smoothing out the rough edges, keeping us sane.
Luca and Iggy looked around uncomfortably.
Seriously, someone made an entire new town and moved us all, and no one noticed. Precisely. But why? Why is the one question that can never be answered with certainty. The best one I can do is to uncover...
Nat narrowed his eyes, furrowed his brow, and uttered,
the source. Why'd you say the source like that? Why, indeed.
Luca began to laugh uncomfortably.
That's all ridiculous. There's no way they could...
He looked down at his feet. His eyes started back and forth in contemplation. With a sudden pain, a thought struck him.
This really is home.
He sprinted off into the pale distance. As Iggy turned to follow, Nat called out,
Iggy, it's not too late to turn back. Simply head west through Weepwood.
Chapter Chapter 6. The Source.
Nat expressed his sympathy with a shrug and sauntered off as unassumingly as he'd arrived. He'd given Luca and Iggy what they needed, and nothing more. As Luca sprinted across the snow, the events of the past few days became clearer, pieces to a larger puzzle. Rollo said he was underground somewhere, captured. Mr. Kerr tried to cover it up with lies. The clipboards were hell-bent on capturing Iggy. It all seemed to point to perennial harvest. But right now, there was one thing that Luca needed to know. Luca stopped dead in his tracks. The tree was gone, uprooted and moved, leaving a raw gash in the earth. He dropped to his knees and dug wildly at the cold snow. His numb hands hit something hard, a headstone. A dry whisper escaped Luca's lips.
You're here. All this time I thought I was visiting you. You've been here alone in the snow. Dad, I'm so sorry. They ruined your favorite spot in the world. Our favorite spot in the world. Dad, what do I do?
There was no reply, just snow-covered silence.
Why'd you give me the slip like that? What if I couldn't find you, you jerk?
Iggy finally noticed the tears welling in Luca's eyes and the snow-covered grave.
Oh. Iggy, they stole this tree, Iggy. Yikes.
Suddenly, they heard the crunch of approaching footsteps in the snow.
We gotta hide. 259K. Fall off distance, still good. Dude, did you hear me? I said 259. Sorry. Think about what we did here. We saved a whole town of people. Doesn't feel like it sometimes. What about everything we left behind? It's a grave of someone with a family. People who love them will never know the truth. Truth is overrated.
He bent down to scoop up a snowball and lobbed it playfully.
Hey. Don't be such a downer, dude. Took this job to change the world. Yeah. Come on. It's almost lunchtime. Weirdo. Or I thought I was a jerk. These geniuses are out here literally dancing on graves.
Luca stuttered through heaving sobs.
Thought I was visiting him. I thought he was with me. Not gonna lie, that's a bad break. Here's some advice.
Iggy gave Luca a solid smack on the back of his head.
Hey, who's any of this helping? What? Sitting here in the snow crying like some pushover? Who you helping? Iggy, look what they did. They lied to everyone. Blah, blah, blah. Look at Van Horn, you're a lot of things, but you ain't no pushover. Why didn't I tell you before? Some jerk comes at you acting like a horse's ass. I should stand up for myself. Hell yeah. Karen and his merry little band of clipboards pulled off the switcheroo for a reason, right? Nat mentioned something about a source.
Luca wiped his eyes with a sleeve.
Whatever's at the source, it must be awfully valuable to perennial harvest. Sure would be a shame if something unfortunate were to happen to their precious source, wouldn't it? What do you have in mind? If it's small enough to steal, we snatch it. If it's too big to snatch, we smash it. What if it's too big to smash?
Iggy flashed a mischievous smile and cracked his knuckles.
I'm always up for a challenge. I'm gonna make this right, Dad, I promise. Let's do this. It's cold out there in those woods, Luca. Probably best to stay put and conserve your energy. Help's on the way. Where's Rollo? Where's my mom? Did you kill her? Oh heavens no, do I seem like a killer to you?
Iggy and Luca shared a skeptical look.
Well, do I? Aw shucks, now that hurts my feelings. Screw that guy.
A disc of smooth metal was lightly covered in snow. Two faint seams were visible along the surface.
Manhole cover? Yes, I've never seen one like it. Wait a minute. If this is the original town, then that means...
Iggy darted behind a large pine and began digging furiously. He emerged holding a shoebox with a crude skull painted on its lid.
What's that? Long story. So a few years back, I came into possession of some premium grade fireworks. The wimpy firecracker stuff they give kids. The good stuff. So I let you bury it under a tree. That's the long part of the story. Me and Roller were doing chores at Rollo's chicken coop. You guys pissed me off for some reason or another.
Luca rolled his eyes with realization.
No, you didn't.
Iggy stifled a chuckle.
Yep. Just wanted to give you guys a little scare. But, like I said, these were some primo fireworks. So I might have underestimated things. You blew up the chicken coop. Better to think of it as an incendiary redecoration. Sorry, but you should have seen the looks on your faces. Well, look, I grounded for months. Which is why I needed to stash the evidence and lay low. So I buried them under that tree. But when I came back for them later, they were gone. Figured some grown-up found them and tossed them.
Iggy triumphantly raised the shoebox.
Turns out it wasn't the fireworks that got moved. It was us. Unbelievable. Do you think this is a game? Newsflash, boyo. You're not a hero. You're just a little brat who's in way over his head. Hero's just someone who refuses to give up. Comics these days are rotting children's brains. Everyone thinks they're a spaceman superhero. I'm always partial to Hank Atomic myself. Is that so? Do you think you have a chance against us? You have no idea how powerful we are. Careful blast off, loser.
Luca and Iggy inched up to the edge of the hole with bewilderment in their eyes. Arctic air breathed out of the cavern in heaving gusts.
Echo, 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 echo. Whoa. Let's see why they want us to move all out of town now. What if they dig a giant hole? I think this is it. This is the source? It's a dang hole? Why do we smash a hole? Oh, it's much more than that, my annoying little friend. Care. Where's Rolo? I wasn't lying before, he's safe. Well, safer than you two, at least. Drats is cold. You just had to drag me all the way out here, didn't you?
Mr. Kerr gazed down the abyss in contemplation.
It really is something, isn't it? What did you do to our town? What is all of this? Well, that's a doozy of a question. This is the source, where they collect the unrefined,
Kerr scratched the back of his head.
Honestly, I don't understand any of this well enough to explain it. The fact of the matter is, I'm not paid to know. What do you mean you don't know? Ain't you in charge? Oh, heavens no. My role is really to flash a winning smile and manage various complications. Complications like us. You are a smart boy.
His face contorted into a saccharine grin.
It really is nothing personal. Some people are destined to strive for greatness, and others are simply obstacles along the way. Seems like you were destined to be a creepy lackey. The point is that we all play our part in life. Mine just happened to be a lead in the role of a lifetime. And you happen to be extras ready for your curtain call. Aren't giving up without a fight. Your smile's not going to be so winning after we're done with you. Now, boys, there's no need for a melodrama. Makes you a professional such as myself embarrassed for you. Let's change the mood a bit.
Kerr snapped his fingers.
Scene change. There, that's better. Deal with them.
Iggy turned to Luca with a sly glance.
Why are you smirking? Just have a box full of fireworks and you don't.
Iggy waved the box into the air, threatening to drop it down the hole.
Stop. To do something regrettable. Joke's on you, regret's one of my specialties. Out of curiosity, what would happen if I threw these in your precious soul? Nothing. Nothing at all. You're a terrible liar. I'll have you know. I'm an exceptional liar. Up, that's far enough.
Iggy plucked a single bottle rocket from the box and held it up with reverence.
Stop, you fool. Call off your goons.
After a long pause, Mr. Kerr flung up his hand with frustration.
Very well. Then I'll head back for the night. It's been a long day. I released you from here.
Mr. Kerr sighed into the frigid air.
Just us now, Iggy. Put that down. What, like this?
With a nonchalant flick, Iggy tossed the firework into the hole.
Ooh. Whoa.
With a growl, Kerr leapt at Iggy, crashing through Luca. Iggy tried to twist away, but in the struggle they both tumbled over the side. Luca dove forward, bracing Iggy's hand just before it slipped. His grip was made precarious by the cold, wet snow. He could see Kerr further down, clinging to Iggy's coat.
You reckless child, what have you done? Look, listen to me. Hold on tight and use the walkie-talkie to call them back. What channel do I use? Doesn't make a damn difference, they're always listening. You have the clipboards will just haul us up and snag us both. The only way you get out of this is if Kara's out of the picture. Just let go and save yourself. If he lets go, we both die. I don't want to die, but seeing the look on your face always makes it worth it. Mr. Kara, you had a long life. Why don't you actually do something selfless and just let go?
Mr. Kerr gasped with insult.
Long life? I'll have you know I can still play 25. Should have heard me sing the part of Phileas Young.
With a wild look in his eye, Mr. Kerr began to hum a proud melody.
Prum-dum-dum. Prumpty-dum-dum. Wow, can you believe this guy?
Luca's hand began to cramp. His voice began to crack.
Care, just let go. No can do. If you want to save your friend, you'll have to save me too. Look at me. It's okay.
Luca felt Iggy loosen his grasp.
You're not gonna kill your friend like that, are you?
Every muscle in Luca's body burned.
I'm not his friend. Yes, you are. Now I'm just no good bully. Like you, Care. Iggy, no.
Luca felt his hand slipping.
And I told you what you need to do with bullies. I can't. It's the only way out of this mess. Two birds with one stone. Makes sense for us to fall together. Wackadoos travel in packs.
Calm settled over Iggy's face.
Luca, let me do this.
Iggy's voice was colder than the bitter air billowing from the chasm.
Let me do the right thing for once.
Luca
No
had
thanks.
no choice but to refuse Iggy's request. He tightened his grip and reached for the walkie-talkie in his pocket. A wild delight crept onto Mr. Kerr's face. That's a good lad. Now, radio for help. Iggy begged Luca with his eyes one last time, but Luca pressed the button and called out. We need help. Mr. Kerr is in danger. It wasn't long before they were once again surrounded by clipboards. Mr. Kerr sighed with relieved frustration. There you are. You really are a worthless lot, aren't you? Mirror, now. A clipboard dutifully produced an ornate ivory hand mirror, and Mr. Kerr began preening his tousled hair. Ah, that's better. Mr. Van Horn, I applaud your sharp thinking under duress. I'll put in a good word for you with the founder. Take them away. A swarm of hands overpowered Luca. The last thing he saw before a cloth bag was pulled over his head was the defeated look on Iggy's face. The end. I think this was
was one of those times where doing the right thing was the wrong thing.
Like that, but okay. Guess we'll just kill some people. As you do.
Luca had no choice but to accept Iggy's request.
With a quiet blink, Luca watched a teardrop sail down into the howling void. As his fingers slowly gave up, he met eyes with Iggy.
Good.
The two silhouettes were swallowed by darkness.
Well, goodbye, Iggy. Luca, you should really step back. What? Quickly. Curious. Ah, but of course. Those fireworks of Iggy's must have been just the right amount of energy. Should get out of here before perennial harvest arrives. Not until you tell me what just happened. Your friend's sacrifice just saved this town. For a little while, anyway. How? Tempest liquamine is a peculiar substance. It changes the relationship between matter and time itself. But doing so requires unfathomable energy. In a closed system, the energy can only come from its surroundings. Useful side product of this property being, by adding precisely the correct amount of energy to it, one can create a cryogenic cascade. So the gunk makes things cold and the fireworks has made the whole freeze over? That's one way of putting it, yes. As dumb luck would have it, fireworks were strong enough to generate a runaway reaction. Shudder to think what would have happened in that case.
We have some idea what that would look like.
It took them a good while to safely break through and access the source again. If you know all this stuff, why haven't you been helping? I have been, in my way. Each one of us has a role to play. Iggy's role, it turns out, was to buy us precious time. Mine has been to observe and wait. Wait for what? You. Me? Why? What's my role?
A fierce twinkle flashed in Nat's eyes.
Luca Van Horn, you are going to save the world.
With a chuckle, Nat turned and walked west. Dumbfounded, Luca followed behind him, trudging through the snow. Every step taking him further away from everyone and everything he knew, and closer to destiny. To be continued in Beacon Pines, Pines Harder.
What?
Revenge served cold.
Okay.
Second time's a charm?
Okay.
Wait, that's it? This ends with a crummy cliffhanger just when it was getting good? I was even starting to like Iggy. No way. I refuse to be associated with some never-ending parade of sequels. Let's go back and find something more definitive.
Okay. It's a whole thing. Okay. Well, gotta go back and do some interrogation. But I think that's about enough for today. Beacon Pines 2, Pine Harder, baby. I'm ready. I'm ready for the sequel. Bring it on. But for now, I'm gonna head out. And, walk a dog and do stuff like that. Pet this cat that keeps yelling at me. All the good stuff. We had a good time. Beacon Pines, I know I did. I'll see ya later. Alligator.